Music. Talk to me, Louis.
Love it. Love
now,
it.
It sounded like you'd heard that before.
I've heard that before.
Wow.
I couldn't tell you what it's called, who it's by, or anything. I've not actively listened to it, but I've heard it on TV and maybe it's been films or whatever, adverts. I
wonder if the listeners appreciate your singing back to them the song they've just heard.
It's a tribute. I'm sure.
Imagine if a label came to you and said, "Look, Louis, we've heard your stuff. We'd like to record a whole album."
Can you just
Busted have approached us. They heard you talking about them.
Probably be better than the original, wouldn't it?
They want you to join them.
I would happily record that album, Louis' tribute to just going dee 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 doo da doo da. That's what we call the album.
Yeah,
dee dee doo da.
And you could do that Police song as well. To do 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 da da da. There's a Police song called to do 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 da da da.
Okay, right. I thought you were talking about the earlier one with
No,
Sting.
I wasn't. No.
Yeah, no, really like that. I did a bit of air guitar, I did a bit of air drums to that, particularly.
You did.
And I like the bit where he's
happy little look on your face as you were doing it.
Oh, it's a great. And the bit he sounds a bit like he's masturbating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Enjoyed that.
I would put that on a plate. I was going to say what we should do. Their songs are so good in this one.
Yeah.
We should do a separate playlist, which is just the tunes. And then I changed my mind because I thought, well, then people would just listen to that. They wouldn't bother with that.
You're trying to edit us out of the podcast.
Yeah. So you'll have to make your own
in a way, that's
listens.
where our future lies, isn't it? And just me doing a playlist of songs, then probably editing you out.
Oh, the tensions in the band.
Just me speaking, telling people about music. Great. Don't have to have some fucking idiot going duh, 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 duh. Winners all round.
Well, that's probably what Paul McCartney thought when he went solo, and then actually he did all right. Who am I really thinking? Who's gloriously? Well, I tell you, one of Busted that I
Don't
read
go
on
back to
Wikipedia went solo, and it didn't work out so well for him.
The name of that band was the Violent Femmes.
The Violent Femmes.
And that track was Blister in the Sun from their 1983 self-titled album.
But so good.
Yeah. Later as well, they went on to be a foursome. But at this point, they were still a threesome. 1983.
Is there something about being a three that makes people make cracking tunes?
No, is the answer to that. No, there isn't.
Oh, it's just, okay. It's just
I'm sure you could Google a lot of bad trios as well.
Yeah.
Nice thought though, Larry.
Well, I just wonder, maybe the less complexity or something, or I don't know. But no, it's just.
I think I'm just playing you. I've tried to select good songs as well. That's the other thing
for a change.
So I'm glad I'm. Yeah.
It also, but though talking about bad tunes, in the last one, songs Louis will hate, and you had the one where they're introducing all the different. It was sort of jazzy, and they introduced all the different instruments. And there was now it's the drums, and then now there's a bit of guitar. This had a little bit of that in it.
And it started with the guitar, and then there was some drums, and then there was a little bass. There was a bass solo.
Yeah, there was a bit of, and you're like, oh, there's the bass.
It sounded like an acoustic bass as well.
It was good. That was good. That had a complicated bass line. I would say that's not the easy. Yeah. So, not up to a Jimi Hendrix solo complexity.
Well, be hard to do a Jimi Hendrix solo on a bass.
It would.
Probably could be done. Some of the simpler ones.
Loved it.
Yeah.
That is... all of the tracks have been crackers.
Yeah.
All killer, no filler.
Do you feel that these help sessions for you are changing your views on music? Because you told me during the last podcast, when we were off air, that you'd started to like a certain track that you originally hated.
The Steely... Yeah, I have to admit, Steely Dan...
Yeah.
I didn't like it, did I?
No.
And then I've listened back to it a few times. And I am being educated. I'm learning, and it is changing me. This podcast, I'm going to come out. I'm
changing.
And growing as a, See that you explaining the lyrics to me did change my perception of it. That it was all about this guy having this sort of midlife crisis. And it was and you were telling me about Steely Dan, that they often play tunes that they're like happy tunes about very dark topics.
Dark topics, yeah.
Which is sort of like an in-joke. It's like this little in-joke that you only know if you're in, and that does... It shouldn't really. You should just appreciate the music for what it is, but it does change it.
But you can appreciate for what it is as well, but there are also other layers you can unpeel.
Well, we are unpeeling the layer. I'm still very much in like an upbeat rock tune, 3 minutes, like the last one we just played. Like I'm still, that's where but hopefully, by the end of, if we keep doing this for a year or so, imagine I'll be a connoisseur.
We will be, won't you? Yeah. You'll start your own music podcast.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
The Real Music Natters. That's what it'll be, or something like that.
The rival. After our acrimonious breakup. Yeah.
Maybe it'll be you, and it'll be some child or something that you've got, and you'll be teaching them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I wondered where that was
going. I'm just trying to think how low we can go with that. Were you chatting to an AI, maybe, teaching them about music?
I think it'd just be me going, da 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 da. Yeah, I mean, that's...
Songs from Louis' album. And the album will be called Louis' Road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a picture of you crossing the street, but nearly getting run over, maybe. Yeah, like Abbey Road is the reference.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I wonder where you're going with that. Yeah.
I forget sometimes I just have to explain every reference to you. And not just music.
Speaking of photos, I think the album art for this this podcast is going to be a good one. Just took it during one of those previous tunes, and I look like I've got no neck. But listeners, I do have a neck. It's just a funny
just buried.
I sort of look like a smiley emoji in it. So I think we're keeping that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you got one for the last podcast as well?
No, we'll maybe take it after.
Okay. I think we've got one more song, Louis. It's not going to be
only one more. This has flown by.
It has.
Unlike the last one that dragged.
Yeah.
You rushing or are you dragging? The last one was dragging.
Louis, you've got to be a little bit more upbeat about the podcast. Put your best foot forward. Don't tell listeners that this podcast was dragging last time.
Yeah, well, the last one was songs
putting you in charge of PR.
Yeah. Well, this is song. We could call this songs Louis loves.
Good too. Maybe that's why it's going quicker. It's just because you.
Yeah, exactly. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Right. Let's hear the last one then.
And I think you will enjoy this one.
Yeah.
And this, we were talking about AI, and this is a kind of song about fear of technology taking over. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what you think of this song.
Yep.
Louis Christie.